Hey everyone, welcome to my review of Monday Night Raw, the last Raw of 2010. And I have to say, it was an okay Raw. I mean, they had some decent matches, some decent segments, but honestly, can I ask a question? Am I the only one that saw CM Punk as the new leader of Nexus, or as the leader of Nexus, if not the guy that put it together? Am I the only one that saw that? Because if you listen to his commentary, when he was doing commentary, when you listen to it, he was almost defensive against John Cena's attacks on Wade Barrett and Nexus. And it's like he was defending Nexus. So, if I'm the only one that saw it coming, then why didn't anybody else? I ask you that. Because I really don't get it. I really don't get it. But, as many have stated, maybe this is a refresher. Maybe this is a restart for Nexus. Some may say that, Nexus needed a jump start for 2011. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Maybe Wade Barrett is a part of Nexus still, and the higher power that he's been talking about, the person that they answer to, maybe it's been CM Punk the whole time. Because think about it. Think about it. Undertaker had a feud with CM Punk. And because of his feud with CM Punk, the straight edge society sort of died out, right? Well, okay, maybe the straight edge society, I don't know if the straight edge society was around when he was world champion or not, but anyway, maybe maybe CM Punk was a higher power, and he wanted Nexus to take out the Undertaker because he felt the Undertaker was a threat. I don't know. I really don't know, but some, like I said, some are saying this is what Nexus needed. They needed this jump start. They needed this, reigniting. And like I said, if Wade Barrett is still part of Nexus, and it is revealed that CM Punk has been the one they've been answering to this whole time, including Wade Barrett, then I'm not going to be surprised. I'm not going to be surprised. I won't be surprised either if they want to bring Wade Barrett back and have Wade Barrett fight CM Punk for leadership. I won't be surprised about that either. Nor would I even be surprised if news gets around that Wade Barrett got sent back to FCW for more seasoning. I won't be surprised by any one of those aspects, but a lot of people are saying this is the jump start that Nexus needed. And I do agree, they did need some kind of a jump start, but if you think about it, when they did this at the end, that's not the sign of Nexus. Well, it is the sign of Nexus when they did this, because they've done that a couple of times. But if you think about it, that's also actually been, if you think about it, that's actually also been the sign of the straight edge society. And that was done before Nexus. So, put some pieces together. I think you may have an idea as to maybe, the fact that CM Punk could have been all this time the higher power that, Nexus was talking about. Now, as far as the rest of Raw goes, the Sheamus Randy Orton match I thought was pretty well done. I mean, it was more like a pay-per-view quality match, but it was pretty well done. Very stiff match. Randy Orton does win in the end, which is kind of weird because if you think about it, tribute to the troops, Sheamus lost the Battle Royal. Now, a lot of people look at tribute to the troops, as I've mentioned, as non-canon to WWE. That might be true, in some sense. But he loses the Battle Royal to Mark Henry. Then he loses tonight to Randy Orton. Some people may say, why is he the king of the ring and yet he's losing? Believe me, there's something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen for Sheamus and the other person I'm going to talk about, Ted Dibiase. Now, Ted Dibiase lost tonight to Santino Marella. Now, some people have been saying Dibiase does not need to lose. He needs to be pushed instead of being a jobber. Well, I think I may have noticed a few signs as to maybe the fact that Dibiase may be heading to that push that everybody wants him to. If you notice a tribute to the troops, and you may notice tonight and over the past couple of weeks, he's growing a beard. Now, some people may say, oh, that's just to make him look more mature. Well, true, but think of it this way. What if he's growing the beard for a reason? What if WWE is going to push him as the next $1 million man? Because think about it. When his dad was the $1 million man, he had a push all the time. He was right in the main event scene right off the bat. He was a tag team champion. He wrestled for the Intercontinental title. He had all these great opportunities. So if you think about it, Ted DiBiase Jr. could be heading in that direction, if you think about it. Now, and the same, and now as for Sheamus, it could be the same thing. Yeah, he's the king of the ring. He's lost 2 matches already. That's no big deal. But think about it this way. They're setting him up for a reigniting in 2011. Think of it this way. Sheamus is the kind of guy that can end up, if he enters the Royal Rumble match, if they don't put him in a WWE title match at the Rumble, but if they put him in the Royal Rumble match himself, Sheamus is the kind of guy that can end up as one of the dominant guys, one of the guys that just keeps throwing people over the top rope and eliminating them. Until, possibly, you know who makes his return in the Rumble, Triple H. And that could be what happens there. Now, so I've got a feeling, Sheamus is still going to be pushed high as a main eventer, and the Royal Rumble is going to be a signaling of that reigniting of that push, especially when Triple H comes around, because that's going to reignite a feud people have been wanting to see reignited for about a year. Now, as far as The Miz goes, a lot of people have been saying that The Miz is the WWE champion, that he's not being treated as a champion. He's been treated more like a jobber who gets a win every now and then. Well, let me explain something to those that say The Miz needs to be treated as a champion, not treated as a jobber, and have him lose to guys like Jerry Lawler, who's now a commentator. First of all, Jerry Lawler is a semi-retired wrestler. In other words, he's part-time on the indie circuit. And also, the reason Miz is losing to Jerry Lawler, whether it's pinfall or countout, is to show, storyline-wise, is to show how inexperienced Miz is, and storyline-wise, to show, character-wise and storyline-wise, that Miz is not ready to be the champion, yet he is. He's not ready for that main event spotlight. He's not ready to carry the weight of the company. That's why they're doing this. Now, as far as his match with John Morrison goes next week, that is kind of a surprise, because like anybody else, I thought it was going to be the Rumble. It still might be the Rumble. It still might be the Rumble, but when you think about it, let's say WWE decides to kick off the new year with the first Raw of the new year and have John Morrison win the title. They'll have a rematch of the Rumble. Miz can win it back. Simple as that, right? And then Miz ends up losing it in the Elimination Chamber. Before you know it, Miz is a 2-time champion. I think that's where they want to go, if they decide to put the belt on Morrison next week. If not, then the reason they're doing this match is so that they can get Morrison out of the way and focus more possibly on Randy Orton, if not probably adding Sheamus to the mix as well, if you think about it. So that might be interesting in its own right. So a lot of possibilities, like I said, could go either way. Morrison can end up winning, Miz can get his rematch and win it back at the Rumble, or Miz can beat Morrison, get Morrison out of the way, set up for Randy Orton and possibly Sheamus at the Rumble. Who knows? But I think we all know that Miz is going to lose the title soon. We just don't know when, whether it's the Rumble or the Elimination Chamber or even next Monday. It's going to be soon. And I will admit, the Morrison-Miz match for the WWE title is a refresher, is basically is a refresher, if you will, because these two, I mean, think of it this way. At the beginning of this year, if you would have said, if you would have said at the beginning of this year that on the first Raw of 2011 we were going to have Miz versus John Morrison WWE Championship match, would you have believed it? Probably not. But that's what's going to happen. So those three scenarios could happen. Two scenarios, I should say, two or three scenarios out of this could happen. So now, besides that, going back to the CM Punk being the new leader of Nexus, like I said, to me, CM Punk could have ended up being the guy that, you know, is just basically could have been the higher power that everybody's been talking about, that even Wade Barrett answered to. And if that's the case, I wouldn't be surprised. But I know a lot of people are probably thinking, and I've tried to mention this earlier, that with CM Punk leading Nexus, that what's really going to happen, I'm sure a lot of people have already thought about this, what's really going to happen is Nexus is going to be revealed as just another version, if not a more stronger, younger version of the straight edge society. That's right. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are thinking, oh great, they do this, CM Punk's their leader, it only means one thing, they're going to be the straight edge society. That might be, and that might be a good thing. Maybe it may be a good thing, may not be a good thing, but we'll see what happens. I mean, one person I'm subscribed to said it was poppycock, so we'll see what happens. Other things from Raw tonight, Melina and Natalya continue to develop their feud, their storyline. And I think if they have a match at the Rumble, it's going to be one of the better Diva matches that WWE has had in a while. And as far as Tyson Kidd goes, yeah, he lost to Mark Henry, and yeah, him and Jackson Andrews look like a bunch of jobbers out there to Mark Henry. It looks like they're trying to build up Mark Henry heading towards the Rumble to make him look like one of the dominant favorites. Tyson Kidd, I've got a feeling he's going to be the surprise star of next year. I've got that feeling. This is what I want you to look at. Tyson Kidd and Dibiase, the surprise stars of next year. Just because they're jobbing now doesn't mean they're not going to look strong next year. So those two are going to be the breakout stars of next year. Believe me, I've got that feeling. And overall, Miz's situation with Jerry Lawler, like I said, it's all about making Jerry Lawler look more experienced and making Miz look like he's not really ready for this main event spotlight or ready to be champion or ready to carry the company. That's why they're doing it. Now, so overall, Raw was pretty good. I'll probably give it about a 7 out of 10. And as far as some other things go, like, some other wrestling news goes, like Jeff Hardy. I find out that Jeff Hardy is going to be pleading guilty next month, so looks like TNA is going to take the title off Hardy and put it on Anderson, maybe. And then what else? Oh yeah, and Caval being released. We find out that it was actually Caval that asked for his release, and then we find out that WWE is now just at the point where they're saying, hey, you want your release? Here it is. The only thing is, you can't compete for a rival company for 90 days. Or for 90 days you can't compete for a rival company. So Caval asking for his release, to me, really doesn't come much as a surprise, because even though he wrestled at Survivor Series for the Intercontinental title, and people were hoping he'd get the Intercontinental title, I think Caval realized that he's better off right now on the independent scene and probably Ring of Honor in Japan. And perhaps after a while being in those areas, he might come back. Heck, he might even come back at the Rumble. They might say, Caval, come on back for the Rumble. We'll give you a decent push. That might happen too. So, and the same could be said for MVP. But that's all I have to say about Raw. Like I say, a 7 out of 10 show. And as far as Caval's release, like I said, that was his decision. WWE's now releasing people if they want it. They're at that point, I guess. And we'll just see if it happens, where everything goes from here. So that's all I'm going to say. Tell me what you think. And I'm out.